everyone. I hope you're all fine. During my early education, I had seen many people around me who couldn't afford schooling for their kids. And a major reason for this was their financial condition. These kids either spent their days lazing around on the streets, or they worked as cleaners or did odd jobs. These kids did not have access to any of their basic needs and had to work really hard to fend for themselves. One of our maid's son started coming to work along with her, and I came to know that this was because they couldn't afford schooling for him anymore. It was really saddening to see a child just over my age working so hard for the sustenance of his family, and it taught me the harsh reality of our world. But what could I do about it? What actions could I take? While throwing my previous class books into the storeroom, something clicked my mind. Why am I throwing these away? Why can't I give these to a poor kid? So that's what I did. I gave those books to our maid and also gave older books to the poor in our society. But I wanted to expand it more. So I encouraged my cousins, class fellows, friends, and other relatives to do the same. Being from a privileged family, I never realized how these people were struggling even for their basic necessities. And these people were in pain because their families had no food and no education. Now, over 264 million children in the world don't have access to education. And this accounts for about 3.3% of all children in the world. Now, it may seem small on the chart, but it is a very significant number. The future of these kids is being compromised, and about 320 million books are thrown away each year instead of being recycled or reused. Why can't we give these books to the poor children? Do they not have the right to education just because they can't afford it? Is this fair? Now we have to connect donors to receivers. As I was pondering over this, I decided to utilize my skills in the field of technology to contribute to their education. I've always had an interest for programming. Now, you might be wondering how it all started. Well, my interest for programming didn't just happen all of a sudden. There were many insignificant events that led to this. Like when I used to help my mother with some features of PowerPoint, or helping my class teacher with some features or softwares in class. Thus, my interest in programming grew gradually over the past 4 years. I work with many programming languages such as Java, Python, HTML, and CSS. These languages were pretty easy for me, and I was able to get good at them in no time. My first successful program was just copied from a tutorial. It was tic tac toe. And when it ran, I was so happy. I was literally jumping all around the place, asking my parents to keep playing with me. After a while, in order to keep me from worrying them, they told me to go and make another app. Duh, I was disturbing them so much. Then I started app development. App development was a little hard for me because we had to learn this new programming language called Kotlin. But soon enough, I got used to this new language. My first app was a calculator. It was very simple, but it took over 3 weeks to make. After many live classes and a detailed online course, I was confident with my skills and now had to consolidate them. And for that, I had to make one final app. I was sitting down, jotting down ideas to work on when I remembered my main motive on starting this venture, this journey on making this app, which were these poor families who had to struggle even for their basic necessities, who had to struggle to educate their children. I planned an app that would allow people to give their old books to the poor people. The person who owns the book will post information about the books they have and their contact information onto the app. The poor can then contact them and get the books free of cost. Now, these don't include only educational books, these can include books like literature and fiction as well. Now, from a broader point of view, this will help save millions of books, millions of trees, and tons of virtual water in the background from being wasted. Now, some might say, how are the poor going to afford smartphones? Well, about 80% of the people in my country have smartphones. And even in the most destitute societies, there are a few people who have smartphones. We can use campaigns to spread and promote this app into a society. And so that people will be able to use and take benefit from this free app. They will be able to educate their kids. And we all know that literacy is very important for the development of a society. I firmly believe that my actions will help a few needy people or many needy people in need. And I believe that is what we need at the end of the day. Fame doesn't matter. All we have to do is help someone. All of us can contribute to the betterment of others in one way or another. So we just have to look into ourselves. We all have the spirit, just need to tap into ourselves. And voila! So tell me, when are you beginning your mission? Thank you.